Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Claudia?
Here.
Annette?
Here.
Barbara?
Here.
Alan?
Here.
Tracy Ellen?
Here.
Stephanie?
Here.
John? Here. Doug? Al?
Here.
Jonah? Melissa?
Here.
New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this provision of this act, the Riverdale Board of Education has given notice of this regular meeting to be publicized by having the date, time, and place sent to the Record and the Star Ledger newspapers, the borough clerks, borough libraries, as well as posting in the school district principal offices, faculty rooms, and the board office. According to New Jersey Public Law 2001, Chapter 226, the smoking or use of any tobacco product is strictly prohibited anywhere in the public school buildings or anywhere in school grounds, including but not limited to the parking lots, grassy areas, and athletic fields. Violators will be subject to a fine not to exceed $100.
Okay. The mission of the Riverdale Regional School District is to provide a safe, student-centered environment in which each student is valued and respected, to challenge each student to reach their potential, to nurture every student's intellectual, social, physical, and emotional growth, to promote a healthy work ethic, a passion for learning, and a respect for oneself and other, to develop responsible citizens for our diverse community in an ever-changing world, to continue to involve our community in an active partnership, to provide all students the opportunity to achieve and exceed the New Jersey student learning standards.
Thank you, Ronald. Now we go into public comments on agenda items only. There will be a segment at the end of the meeting. Yes. For anything else related to Riverdale Regional. And we do have somebody. Please state your name.
Joe Manzelli, River Edge. I was it's just a clarification. On 13.9 with the ice hockey cooperative, it says at a fee of $1,000 per student, maximum $5,000. Does that mean you're only going to allow up to 5 players? Is that what that means? Because when I first read it, I was like $1,000, and then maximum 5,000 is like what the fee's going to range. Or does that just mean it's going to be limited to 5 players from there?
That might be a question for Dennis.
No,
Do you know?
answer this. That's from the town of Emerson. This, you're talking about
Yes.
Okay, so that's the team of Emerson can send up to 5.
Up to 5. That's right. That's all I was. Thank you.
Not our students.
Yeah,
Emerson.
that's what I figured. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, that's the first public comment we've had in a while. Thank you, Joe. Are there any other public comments on agenda items only? Okay, we have a presentation tonight. Vito Delora, our assistant superintendent, is going to introduce the new Riverdale app. The floor is yours.
How's everybody? Hi. All right, so I am here to present tonight our Riverdale app. Sort of going through the things that we have loose on our end, tie them up. And I know this was something that the board had asked us to work on last year. And so we, Mr. Wachter, Ms. Correa, myself, we all worked on meeting with some companies to talk about this on the back end. And ultimately, after those meetings, we decided to go with School Messenger because we already use School Messenger as our mode of communication, and it is integrated into our website and all of our notification systems already. So that was sort of the back end of why we chose School Messenger for this particular reason. And so here's the app. Did you all get a chance to download the app? Yes, okay. And did you receive your notification this evening? Great. Okay, so that's sort of, I wanted you to have like an experience of what it would look like and how it would function. You can download the app on the iTunes Store, Riverdale Regional Schools, or the Google Play Store, and it is free. And once we get it rolling and there's any comments or feedback, we will start promoting it to our families to download and to start to access. So what we did, this is sort of the back end of the app through the way we built it. And you can see here, it's pretty robust, and the layout is easy, simple to use. We set up what we thought would be the most important icons that people could access on the first page. There is a second page as well if you swipe to the left that consists of, I believe, like the Microsoft app, et cetera. We can continue to add functionality to this and prioritize the icons in whatever way we feel. I know that we have something coming up. Tonight we have a referendum, so that certainly could be on the first page and prominently displayed. We can reorder those at any time. Once someone downloads it, you will choose what school you'd like to be a part of. You can choose just the middle school if you want. You can choose the high school, and you can choose the district as well. So that choice is available for families so that those push notifications go appropriately to who we choose to send them to. It's pretty self-explanatory the way we set it up. The athletic schedule is pretty robust. Thank you to Dennis and his team for that. It does take a lot of work on the back end to set up these pages and to make sure that everything is functioning. Mr. Pepe keeps up our social media accounts really well, so that's on there as well. We linked all those, the notifications, the community pass, the cafeteria, Genesis, and the calendar. The next page, like I said, is Microsoft Office, and I can't remember the third app off the top of my head, but it's there. And then just simply all you do is click on the icon, and it opens up, and there you'll see the information. You can access it. You can click on them. We have links to the streams and the games for that, the calendar. All of our important events are also on this here, on the district calendar. So that's there. We can also send out notifications, so anyone who is a School Messenger admin can send notifications out really quickly, like we did tonight. I set that up yesterday to make sure that it went off so you could all have an example of what that would look like and how the push notifications are sent. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hi, Stephanie.
I didn't download the app, but I still have a question.
Okay.
So, like when you're on the website, right, and you pick high school, middle school, or district,
Correct.
right? The district is not as robust as high school, middle school. So if I pick Riverdale Regional and I want, as opposed to the middle school or the high school, and I want calendar, is it going to give me everything that's happening in both schools?
That's a good question. I believe it's both schools, yes. If it's not, we'll make it that way.
Okay.
We'll merge them.
Do you know the answer?
You have that answer?
I do.
Okay.
Right now. So the district calendar, if you click that, it's the PDF of all the months that you guys approved.
Right, but I'm talking
And then
about like a
if you
monthly.
click Current events, if you select prior, if you're gonna want middle school updates or high school or both. So then I just select adult, and if I click current events, the calendar that's on the right side of the website pops up from the schools. If you don't select the school, you're gonna get the district, which is just Board of Ed meeting minimum.
Right, so when you clicked on calendar, right, it gave like that published calendar.
Yeah, it
right?
gives the
I'm talking
school
about
calendar.
the calendar that you show month by month, September, October, that usually gets filled in. Like, we don't have that on the district page, so to speak. So, so what you're saying, Brian, is that when I say I want to subscribe to middle school or high school or both, if I say I want to subscribe to both, when I look at what I'm talking about, that monthly calendar, assuming it's available, it's going to populate with all the activities for both. It's going to tell me when there's, you know, I don't know, what are the field day
Yeah.
here and
So on there right
picnic there.
now,
And
there's board meetings, school pictures, 7th and 8th grade pictures, middle school back school night, therapy
Oh, it doesn't
dogs,
come
girls
like that.
volleyball game, it comes up
Okay.
like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yom Kippur, is that,
Yeah, thank you.
you're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions?
So, Vito, when does this go live?
It
Obviously,
is
you can pull
technically
it up
live
now.
already, just
Right.
because we want to make sure of with functionality, but
Okay.
we have not promoted it at all
Correct.
with our families or anybody yet. We just kind of wanted to have some people play around with it, see how it works, get any feedback from the board that was available, and then I said in my email, maybe back to school night, start
Okay.
promoting downloads, put some QR codes around, get people to download it.
So, I think maybe we've talked about this, totally unrelated, could be months ago or no. But I know there are some school districts that don't make Genesis live during the school day.
Correct.
Because it can really, it's like social media, right? Like it can really throw people off. One, our Genesis is live 24/7, is that
It
correct?
is, yeah, at the moment.
And so now we're even making it more accessible. And so, has there been any conversation of maybe not making it live all the time so that we're not adding to the stress of parents or young people by
That-
giving them another avenue to be obsessed about it?
I feel like you're reading my mind
Oh,
because
goody.
actually Mr. Pepe and I had a conversation just this afternoon about that. And I believe you also spoke with Dr. Albrow about it and maybe having some limiting times for students to be accessing that during the school day.
And adults as well,
And
because
adults.
there's nothing worse than the like, if the student doesn't have access to it and the adult does, and then the adult's
Getting
texting
text
you
saying-
like, did you see, or do you know why, you know, like that, you know,
Yeah,
could be stressful.
we are definitely talking about that, looking
Okay.
at the functions that Genesis can help us with. Anybody else? All right, great, thank you.
Thank you, Vito.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to get into our student member report. We have, I'm sorry.
Could we meet our student first?
Well, we're going to do that right now. We have two student reps. We did get an email from Dr. Albrow back in August. Jonah Nipes, he has a soccer game today. Is it Nipes or Nips? Nips, okay. Has a soccer game tonight, that's why he's not here. And Melissa Yee, Melissa's here. But before you start your report, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Melissa?
Hi, so my name is Melissa E., and I'll be one of your student reps this year. For a little bit about me, in the winter, I'm the team manager of the girls varsity basketball team. In the spring, I play softball, and here at Riverdale, I'm in DECA, Interact, and RD Leads as part of my extracurriculars. And I am reporting alone tonight because Jonah has a varsity soccer game at Ramsey tonight at 7. So the high school had a very busy summer and start to the school year. Mr. Pepe and his team made some nice improvements to the building that surprised students on the first day. The biggest improvement being the Y and framed pictures of students in action around the building. The senior class had their yearly car decorating contest on the first day of school. Students respectfully decorated their cars, celebrating class of 2024's last year at Riverdale. Student schedules ran smoothly for all students, and the upperclassmen were happy to assist the new 9th graders with any questions about class locations. Freshman orientation took place on September 6th. This gave the students a chance to hear from Mr. Pepe and be introduced to key members of the faculty other than their teachers. Yesterday, the high school had a moment of silence, remembering the September 11th attacks on America, and history classes reflected on this tragic day. We remembered the 3 RDHS alumni that lost their lives that day: Jennifer Fialco, class of 1990, Ted Owita, class of 1994, and Scott Rodner, class of 1997. And for the middle school report, despite the extreme heat last week, Riverdale Middle School students experienced a smooth opening and first week back at school, in large part to the work that 8th grade ambassadors did in the summer to welcome new students It appeared the entire student body returned with a positive energy, determined to get off to a great start. Mr. Jaczynski met with both classes on September 6th to review middle school expectations and provide encouraging words and tips on how to be successful. The middle school volleyball team selection process is nearly complete. The girls will begin their season on the road against Allendale a week from today. Middle school students had picture day on Friday. Individual photos were taken during physical education classes. This Thursday, students will take their class pictures on the middle school field. The therapy dogs will be back at RDMS this year. Teachers are given the chance to contact the counseling office and sign their class up to visit four-legged friends in the afternoon. Therapy dogs share smiles and joy with all students and provide those who may be stressed a sense of security. A special thank you to Kathy Grave, Karen Kohler, Kathy Johnson, and Brenda Canal for sharing their loved ones with Riverdale Middle School. Back to school night at RDMS will be Thursday night. The evening will kick off with an optional presentation by our middle school guidance counselors at 6:30. Parents and guardians will tour the building following an 8-day schedule starting at 7. And for extracurriculars at the high school, fall sports kicked off a couple weeks ago. Student athletes have been working hard to represent their teams. Good luck to all fall teams this season. The marching band attended their yearly band camp the last week of August and have been putting in many hours preparing for the fall season. They will be performing at every football game and have several competitions throughout the year. Some after-school clubs have already started meeting and participating in community events. All clubs will be present at the annual club fair in a couple of weeks. This gives them a chance to showcase their goals and have students sign up to be members. Thank you to the members of Hawkapella Group. They sang the national anthem at both the Oradell and River Edge 9/11 memorial ceremonies last night. Thank you to Mr. Wilson for organizing and assisting this experience. And for upcoming events at the high school, Picture Day for underclassmen is this Thursday and Friday. The senior class will have their senior sunrise this Friday morning at the stadium field at 6:15 a.m. and a class picture later in the day along with their cap and gown fitting. Back to school night is September 21st. It begins at 7 p.m. At 6:15, the guidance department will be hosting freshman parent night in the auditorium for an introduction to RDHS. Thank you, and we look forward to a great year.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brad.
I was going to say, Jerry.
And as always, what we like to tell our student reps is if at any time during a meeting you feel you have something pertinent to add to the meeting, feel free. Okay, you don't have to just sit there and listen all night. If you do have something pertinent to what we're discussing, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, thank you very much. My report tonight, I was going to report, how school opened in both buildings, but I'm going to put these guys to work since they're here tonight and let them, they sent me emails, both building principals, as to how the first week of school went. I know we had some road closures and the heat, and they did report back to me, but Rob, why don't you come up to the microphone and just let us know how your first week of school transpired.
This is what you get for showing up.
No, put them to work.
So I thought we had a really great summer. The building was open on several occasions for student tours. The student tours were led by our 8th grade ambassadors. We have about 40 students. They contribute in a variety of ways during the school year. So they helped introduce the new students to the building. We had our Technology Academy in mid-August, second year we've been doing this. We had last year 120 students came, this year 180. So we increased big time. It was a great opportunity for the kids to get used to some of the district technology, meet some staff members, and then also get to meet some of the other students that are attending the middle school from Oradell and River Edge. The orientation was the 24th. Started with a presentation just about the goings on of the middle school, and then we went into had a barbecue for lunch. Everyone seemed to have a good time and enjoy each other's company. Again, the ambassadors kind of led the way with that. The counselors helped out, and several staff members, as I said. Very smooth opening, almost eerie how smooth and calm we kind of felt leading up to the first day. Of course, once we started, we got hit with the heat wave, which was uncomfortable, but everyone persevered. It's been a pretty positive energy throughout the building. We were able to get our expectations assemblies the second day of school. to also provide the students with some strategies and tips on how to be successful. We have a theme this year that we're going to focus our attention on is attitude, meaning every student has the ability, every person has the ability to control what they can control, and two of the important things that they can control day in, day out is their attitude and their effort. So we're talking a lot about that. Also, continuing our conversations on resilience from last year. We had our pictures on Friday during our phys ed classes, as Melissa said, and we have our back to school night on Thursday. We're excited about that. Our counselors are going to give a presentation to kick off the evening to kind of just really tailor towards some of our new students, just to give them some advice on how to go about dealing with any technology issues, or if there's any issues with your grading or curriculum, just to kind of give some advice. We will also on Thursday have our class of 28 and class of 29 pictures out on the field. That's pretty much it. I'm sure I forgot some things, but once again, just want to reiterate, just a smooth opening. I feel really good about it, and I think it's going to be a good year. Excited.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
I had a suit on earlier, sorry, I got changed. Thanks for, nice to see everyone. The high school had a great opening last week. I'll talk about the summer too. So over the summer, our doors were open every single Wednesday for all incoming freshmen to just wander through with their schedules on their own. They were offered a guide if they needed it, no one asked, and they were happy to be here. It's funny, in July, 5 or 6 show up the first day, then 10, 15, by the time the end of August came, everyone could come the last Wednesday in August. I felt like school was open, which is really nice. Upperclassmen were around and telling underclassmen what to do and where to go. And it's really nice to see, right? I mentioned that to you the other day, that it's really great, and Dr. Abro touched on it too the other day, that the freshmen are wandering the halls, they're a little nervous the first couple of days, and you see them, and you see a senior or a junior go up to them and say, hey, what are you looking for? Well, I'll walk you there. That's great to see. That's the vibe we're trying to go for. So we also had a summer enrichment program here at the high school. In July, we had, I think it was about 35 students sign up, and it was a 4-day program, 4 half days, and they got acclimated to high school, troubleshooting technology and also team building and kind of getting them outside of their little box of comfort. Lisa Torres did an excellent job planning that. And then in August, we offered it again for another group of students, and we had about 65 students enrolled in that. So we totaled about almost 90 students that volunteered to come in the high school, which I thought was nice for the first year, and that was paid through Title I funds. So hopefully we'll get that again for next summer, and we'll expand it. Opening day was great. The seniors did their senior car decorating contest. It was nice to walk out there. It was hot. I remember I was going out there to vote, and I'm like, what am I doing? It's 100 degrees. But we are fortunate to have air conditioning up here at the high school, and so our classrooms are pretty comfortable, right, Melissa? A couple here and there, but we adjusted, and the rest of the week went really well last week. Dr. Alba, I'm sure will touch on that a little bit, how smooth things looked around the guidance office. And I just want to thank the guidance counselors for a great job during the summer, coming in and making sure every kid felt comfortable that first day of school with a full schedule. We had 2 football games already. That's school spirit, 101. It went well. Students are well behaved in the stands, and unfortunately we lost the first 2, but we play again this Thursday, home again, and we're expecting a big crowd. And fall sports kicked off. The vibe's really good in the hallways, and I was just telling Alan. He said, "How's it going?" And I said, "It feels like December. We're a weekend, but it seems like everyone's acclimated." So we appreciate all your support, and thank you.
Thank you.
And Rob. And that concludes my report.
You did that well.
Thank you.
That was very slick of you, Mr. President. I wish I had thought of it. So jumping into my report, so as Melissa was speaking, I was just crossing off the things that I was going to say that she was already covering, so I don't have that much to report to you, but I wanted to take a moment to commend our staff, our administrative staff, our custodians, our main and central office staff for all the work that they did this summer in preparation for what I believe to be a very positive opening of our schools in September. It was, at least for me. Despite the heat that really gripped us for the first couple of days, and it did, as it did all of you as well. Everybody persevered. I was very happy, as Mr. Pepe was saying, I was very happy with the vibe in the building. I particularly enjoyed watching in the middle school, 8th graders helping 7th graders get the lay of the land and get acclimated to their building, because many of them looked very worried that they didn't know where they were going. And, I actually saw one 8th grader say, okay, if you're late, just be late. Just don't run. Don't be that kid that runs to class. So just be late for the first day. Every teacher's going to understand you're not going to get marked late. It's okay. And I saw the same thing in the high school where people were taking their time to help the 9th graders get acclimated too. And it just spoke to me a lot about the culture of the building between our students. And I was mentioning to the board in an executive session before, as we were finishing up, one of the things that I most enjoyed seeing was, in my opinion, just a look of happiness when I saw our students come in the building and their teachers saw them and they saw their teachers for the first time since probably June. Just so happy everybody was to see each other. And that tells me that there's a genuine love and concern for each other. And that was very nice to see for me, and very welcome indeed. Mr. Pepe had mentioned guidance. That's one of the things that I told Aaron Kirkby. I said, don't be worried. I said, but the first place I'm coming to the high school is to the guidance office the first period of the day. I said, because that's the litmus test as to whether you did your job all summer. Are the schedules set? Do the students know where to go? How many kids are lined up outside the door? So I went in 10 minutes into period 1. There was not a single student in the guidance office. So I commend them for the work that they did. There's a lot of balancing that goes on over the summer, a lot of adding and dropping of students in different classes and rescheduling sections. And they were like champs all summer long. So I was very happy to see that. And it continued the next couple of days. You don't really see a lot of students in the guidance office looking to change anything, which means they did a lot of upfront work. So good for them. One other item that we didn't cover that nobody took from my report, I guess. I don't know if you had noticed that the U.S. News and World Report came out with their rankings. I don't know what value the public or the board puts on those rankings, but we were ranked number 62. Riverdale High School was ranked number 62 in New Jersey in the public rankings, and that's based on college and career, a number of metrics, but college and career readiness, assessment results, and graduation rate are probably 3 of the bigger ones that they assess our schools on. So congratulations to Riverdale High School on that achievement. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. We'll get into committee reports, but I'm just going to wheel through this because Budget and Finance, Doug isn't here, but he has a meeting 10/16?
Yes.
Okay. And Facilities, that's John, same thing, 10/16 meeting?
Yes.
We haven't had one since our last board meeting.
We were gonna meet tonight, we gave.
Right, we switched.
Community Relations, we kept our October date.
October 16th as well, okay. Community Relations, I know we met tonight, so Alan, go ahead.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna wait till later on to do it, to announce the upcoming referendum. But we did have a meeting and talked about picking key communicators in the both towns to help us get the word out about the referendum. We'll be sending out dates, one of which will be this Thursday night, when we'll be handing out to anybody that's interested or wants to know more about the referendum. This is a trifold that our architect, Solutions Architecture, put together to talk about the referendum, but I'm going to leave the rest till later on.
Okay, thank you. Curriculum, Annette, you're the only committee, I don't have a meeting date?
Yeah,
Do we
so
have one?
we don't have one because the big item for curriculum right now is the language arts and math standards, which have not been passed by the State Board of Education
Okay.
yet. So we're holding off on setting a date for the meeting because that's really what we need to talk about. I'm hoping in the next month that's going to happen, we can set our date.
To be determined. Okay, Policy and
We
Governance.
can always find something to talk about.
Now, there's always something to talk
Don't
about.
we, just off the hook there, sitting so pretty, right? Like,
In all
come on, we can
fairness,
always find something.
We did address, Vito came up to me and we will be discussing dates, so forwarding to you very shortly, Stephanie, will be some dates.
Okay. And Policy and Governance on October 30th, correct, Barbara?
Yes.
Prior to the board meeting on the 30th, and that date was changed, so make sure that's on your calendars. We did have for what, the 23rd or 25th, and we changed that to October 30th?
Correct.
Due to the school board's meeting?
Correct.
Okay. So that finishes the committee reports. Let's move into the consent agenda if we could. May I have a motion, please?
I'll second.
Claudia and Alan. Does anybody have any questions, concerns about anything on consent? Okay, no. Trudy?
Was
any-
there anything that needed to be
Claudia?
done?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
John? Annette?
Yes, except for 9A, I was not in attendance.
Tracy Ellen?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Stephanie?
Yes.
Al?
Yes. Yes, there was an addition. Should we just backtrack and put that
No,
addition?
we could just do it.
after?
But you need to vote.
Yeah,
Did you vote?
I did. I did. So-
Sorry.
so we're good.
G, what?
Yeah, there was an addition on, what letter was that?
13.
13G, right?
13G, Bergen County.
Mid-Bergen.
Okay, at a cost not to exceed 14,000. So let's just note that, please. Okay, and the first vote out of consent under 13 Finance District Operation D, the superintendent, at the request of the board secretary, recommends that the board accept line item transfers and the adjustments as listed in the financial report for the months ending July and August 2023. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Stephanie, thank you. Trudy?
Claudia?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Tracy Ellen?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
Al?
Yes. Okay, I need a motion, please, to move items from the executive session. to
Make
the
a
reg-
motion.
Okay, that's,
So what items are we?
I'm gonna,
Thank you.
I'm gonna read those. Can we have a second?
I'll second.
Claudia? Okay, it's under A1 and D1 and 2. They are staff additional work schedule and staff salary adjustments. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about any of those items? No?
Claudia?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
John? Annette?
Yes.
Tracy Ellen?
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
Al?
Yes. Okay, we get into old business, new business. Stephanie?
I don't, can we like sort of find out who's going to school boards, when and for how long, and see if like we all want to schedule something before like, we say, oh, let's all have dinner Wednesday night, and then I say, well, I'm leaving Wednesday night, or, you know, so maybe we can, I don't know, if anybody who's going may let you know, and then you figure out if we all want to be together at some point.
Okay. Do we want to have a show of hands who's going right now? And,
I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, but.
well, I mean, I think by now everyone would know if they're going or not, because the rooms have been taken care of.
Yes.
I know I'm going. You're going? Alan? And,
I'm still a question.
okay.
Claude's going to bunk with me if she goes.
Yeah, I'll bunk with
Okay, so there's three of us,
I'm still
possibly
question.
four.
Doug
Trudy-
might, is Doug going?
Trudy, you're gonna be there?
I thought Doug was going for a day.
Is there any kind of dinner that anyone's taking us out, any,
Not that I'm,
not that you're, okay. We'll
Frank?
we'll email and, well, we used to have a dinner from somebody,
Well, I don't think, you know.
but that's fine. Okay, we'll be in touch.
Annette, are you in this year? Annette, you in this year? No, you
I-
you have
I'm-
other commitments.
I'm unable to attend this
Yes,
year, but it's
okay.
online.
Okay.
What are the dates? I'm forgetting what the dates are.
23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th,
Of
like it was like
October.
Monday to
October?
Thursday,
Yes, it's
yeah.
the third week in October.
October 24th,
Is the Monday?
that's a Tuesday.
No, it starts on Monday now.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
So the room would be
Thursday.
Monday night, right?
Maybe not.
Yes, let's just confirm that.
They do have the schedule out, so like, for anyone that's going,
Right.
like, if there were a day or a time, or you could only, go for a day, something you loved or whatever.
Any other old or new business? Anybody? Okay, board discussion. Alan, do you want to start?
Sure.
And the referendum?
Well, I've been given the honor as chair of the Community Relations Committee to introduce to the Riverdale community the official launch of the Riverdale Regional District's 2023 referendum to be voted on December 12th, 2023. The board and the administration have been working on this with solutions architecture for over a year now. We had our last referendum in 2003, and that was for $28,950,000, which we will be finished with paying off after 20 years this year. In 2003, we received 22% state aid, which amounted to $6,500,000. The new referendum that we're proposing is for $18,700,000, and we will get back from the state 34%, or $6,400,000, which reduces our portion to $12,300,000. That is why it is a very opportune time to do this. For River Edge taxpayer with an average assessed home of $395,000, it will mean a reduction of $50.80 a year. And to an Oradell taxpayer with an average assessed home of $567,000, it means a decrease of $58.60 a year. The work on these buildings and classrooms need to be done. And we could do it over a period of time of years by taking money each year from the budget. But we would lose the $6,400,000 in state aid. What we do want to do with the buildings, and I'll just give you some of the highlights. We want to increase and update the security measures to keep our kids safe. We want to do various mechanical and HVAC upgrades, as well as electrical. After all, these buildings are from the 60s and the 50s and need it. We want to replace the gym floors and do extensive work in the locker rooms. We want to put in both schools emergency generators so that in case of power outages, both communities would have a safe place to shelter in place and to keep warm or cool depending on the time of year. We want to convert and design spaces in the building that we can use for special ed 18 to 21-year-old programs to teach them life skills, cooking, hygiene, and keep them with their friends in our high school. High school, middle school auditorium renovations. We want to design new functional renovations to existing, inefficient, outdated home economic rooms. I hit on just some of the things that we intend to do if the referendum passes, and keep the quality of excellence of learning that we expect from our school system in both communities. We will be launching it tonight, but we will be present at both back-to-school nights. Those are some of the dates that we'll be talking further about it, and we'll be handing out this trifold so that you can read it at your leisure at home. We will have on the Riverdale website a complete presentation by Dr. Albro about the referendum, starting tomorrow. At our October 2nd board meeting, we will have a presentation again where the community can come and ask their questions of both the board and our architect, Solutions Architecture. We encourage everybody to come out and vote on December 12th, 2023.
Thank you, Alan.
If anybody has anything else to add,
Anybody?
go right
Well,
ahead.
the only other thing is in our committee meeting, we talked about, putting together a calendar of dates and places that we want to be out in the community and be available, as Alan spoke about, to hand out materials and also answer any questions we could on the spot. And Dr. Abro and Trudy are going to put together that calendar and maybe like a, sign of genius or something so that one or two people will be there. Dr. Abro, of course, will be as present as possible, our committee, but we need all of us. We need an expanded community of people that want to share the information and help people understand what's being asked, how much this will change our facilities and open up programming, and so when that comes out, please, whatever time you have, if you can plug it in somewhere. It's a marathon.
Yes, there will be a big social media presence, email blitzes, mailings, on the website as mentioned, the QR codes that you can hit on the trifold and on the website there. If you have questions about anything, you can find one of the board members for an answer or come to October 2nd board meeting. We'll have answers for hopefully any question that the community has for us. John?
I'd like to add something also. I'm sure everybody's going to look at the trifold and everybody's creativity or information overload is going to kick in. It is a busy trifold, but it's by design to create enough awareness and touch on a lot of the points. But I think what Alan just mentioned, going to the website where you can watch the video, dig into different areas, is going to help everyone. So if the trifold, if some sections of the trifold are not clear enough, it's meant to drive you to the website where there'll be a lot more information into each of these areas. So if there's a section that appears as if it doesn't have enough info, the referendum section is going to drill into almost every one of these things. So we did, spent a long time on this to simplify it or add more. It seemed to be the right balance. So everybody's going to look at this and probably have comments. Just know that we met on it a lot until we settled on this. It is going to appear as it has a lot of info, but the drill down is on the website with a great detail of a video that narrates also this thing. I think October 2nd is going to be great. There'll be a lot of detail shared, and hopefully the public will appreciate, how much we agonized over what we put in front of them.
Anybody else want to add anything? Okay, thank you, Alan. Let's get into public comments. Are there any public comments? Yes, please, because that's for the
It's for the video.
that's for the YouTube video, Mr. Manzelli. You should know that.
All right. The questions about the referendum is probably directed more towards Trudy. What I heard Alan say with the last one was like approximately $22 million over 20 years. What I heard here was 12 years, or excuse me, 12 million, the net. Is the bond's gonna be over the same like 20-year period?
Correct.
So, okay, so part of the bond, it'd be like half of the expenditure. Right, because it was like $1.5 million, this would probably be about $750,000 a year. Okay, cool. That's why there's a savings. Thank you. Oh, one other thing. While I'm here,
Come on back.
just a quick suggestion, Vito. I was looking, as I got the app now, I was looking at it. The website is much better than it used to be, which is fantastic. one thing, and this is gonna be near and dear to your heart, is if you could possibly put a link, because a lot of people, when they were looking for the policies, it's easier now on the website, but maybe there's a quick link there, though, because people may look, especially people would have come and yell at you, Dr. Albro, about different policies or something like that, so make it easier from the yelling. Okay, thank you.
Anything to add under public comments? No? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Claudia, second somebody?
Second?
Stephanie, all in favor?
Aye.
That's 8:45.